Hello my fellow gamers and welcome once again to Peps videos. Today I'm starting a new let's play in Before We Leave. This game comes out on the 8th of May and I have already done a preview for you, and you can check that video out if you click on the link up here or in the description below. Now in this game I'm not going to use the tutorial, nor the starting pollution, nor the hard starting desert. When it comes to the demolition, I will use the return all resources option to make the let's play a bit easier. The overpopulation will be on normal and the starting resources as well. Number of plants is gonna go up to 7 and we'll see if I'm able to use all those plants. As for the seed, I'm gonna go with something interesting. So, as I told you in my preview, this game is really amazing. It has gotten a lot of patches in the meantime, so some of the UI is a little bit different than you saw in my preview. And this is how we start the game. We have our shelter, and we have a few peeps. Peeps are your population. I'm going to pause the game. This shelter provides you with some water and some potatoes, which are the food for your peeps. And you can see here that I have 3 out of 0. 0 means that I have no homes. So my first objective is to give these peeps some homes. The more homes I build, the more peeps will come out the shelter, which currently holds 47 of them. Over here we can see the ruin generator. This is a building which produces energy, and in this game the energy is produced as a packaged good, which is then carried away from this building to a building which uses it. And over here you can see the sign telling me that this building creates pollution, and this is the range at which it will create pollution. And if we take a look at, for example, a building, you can see that it wants to be next to other buildings or food production buildings. If we go onto a potato farm, you can clearly see that it doesn't like being close to pollution. So we shouldn't build anything in this area that is going to hold peeps or food. This building, the transmogrifier, is one that takes wood and gives you tools. Tools are necessary for building almost every production building, and you get only a few of them when you start the game. There are a few caskets here, boxes. This one holds iron, this one has stone, and perhaps you could find a few more around the map if you take a closer look, or perhaps not. If you have noticed this, these are stockpiles of ancient technology, because this world has had a cataclysm and it is no longer what it used to be, but there is still technology left about. You can see that these ancient buildings represent just stone for you to harvest, and these past walkers or machines or whatever, they are rusting hulks and they are a place for you to get iron. We seem to have 3 of them here. Well, it's time to start, and I am going to pick up these resources by setting up roads on them. So my peeps will go and pick that up, while I need to choose a place for some homes. Now, because homes need to be next to fields, and fields needs to be next to wells, so that they get a production boost, and wells require land that is fertile. This is the type of land, which is a grassland. I'm going to build some homes, fields, and wells over here. So this is where I will draw my road, like so. You can see another stasis box here. It holds 4 breads. This is something that you can produce only a lot later, so it's really a luxury food at the moment. Now when you are building homes, like I told you, they like being next to other homes and also fields. Fields are where you produce food. Now if you build 2 homes, one next to each other like this, that home, as you can see over here on the right, will add an additional population slot in that home. So by default, these huts hold 2 people, but because they are built next to each other, they will get you 3 folks per building. Now, if I build an additional building here, all of these will give each other bonuses, and I will be able to have 4 peeps here, 4 peeps here, and another 4 peeps here. Now, I do need something to actually get them food, and that will be a potato field. We can place that here. And that potato field likes being next to a well, but wells do not like being next to buildings. Nor do they like being next to animal fields, nor pollution. So if I wish to build a well next to a field, I'm going to have to deforest this area here in order to get an empty slot where I can actually build that well. Now as you can see, my peep has torn down all that, and now this is where I can build a well. You can see that the well doesn't like being next to homes, like I said, so this is why I keep it away from homes. And when I click on this home, you can see that it now holds 3 peeps. As soon as this building is built, all of these will hold 4 peeps, and I will have a lot of population to actually work on the fields. But after that I need to think about some wood, because I'm going to run out of wood fast by building buildings. And the woodcutter needs to be next to actual forests, which are over here. So I'm going to draw this road out to here. I don't have to demolish the road, I can just build a building on top of the road. And because it's next to forests, it will get additional storage for wood. This is important because only later on can you actually have storage up a separate building called a warehouse, and currently production buildings will just store their production goods at the building where they produce it. Now I need an exploration hut for one of my peeps to go around collecting this ancient technology. Now I can build that right here and just connect the ancient technology with a road so that my peep can actually get to it. Over here we have more ancient technology, and because roads are free, I can just connect this piece as well. But that technology needs a library to be placed and for you to do research on, and this is why the library is going to go right here next to this building, and that provides the best efficiency. Now, as you can see here, there are 4 peeps living in these huts, and this as well is another example of good efficiency. You can see here that no storage space is available for the potatoes because I have already reached the maximum capacity that this building can hold. If I click here, you can see that I have 50 potatoes, and that means that I'm full and the population isn't going to be starving. In order to get more population, I need to build more huts. Now I do have an extra area here freed up, or I could go down here. Because I'm going to have a lot of workforce working something over here and over here as well. That doesn't really matter where I'm going to go with it, but I'm going to go over here, up here. So I'm going to deforest this area here. I'm going to place one home here, one here, and another one over here, and I will have again good efficiency on the buildings, which means that I'll need a road to go like this. So now I'll just order up a new house here and a new house here, and once again I will have lots of homes. They will of course be getting food from a field, but currently I do not need more potato fields, but as soon as I do, I'm going to build them there. You can see that the library now has 10 of these green research points. Can either do an elevator or a warehouse. Now the warehouse requires workers, but it's going to be able to store more potatoes and other resources, while the elevator is something that you can build to actually access these mountains here where you can harvest the iron and the stone. I currently do not need to harvest anything, so I might as well just go with the warehouse and get more space for these potatoes and the future woodcutter's product, which is the wood. Now, because I do have a good amount of peeps and they need some jobs, I'm going to create more woodcutters in order to get more wood so that I can actually build more buildings. The warehouse is about to be finished. As for the research, now I can do the elevator research and I can build that warehouse. It requires 4 tools. I currently only have 2 tools available. So in order to build that warehouse, I actually have to get more tools from the transmogrifier. I have to connect it with a road so that my peeps can actually get to it, and then I can turn these wood planks into actual tools. I just need to wait for more of them to be available, but till then I can build another woodcutter to speed up the production of wood. You can see that the capacity here is full, and if I click here and order up these tools, my peeps will start taking this wood that's piled up in here to the transmogrifier, and then it will be turned into tools. The elevator research has been finished, but I do not have enough points currently for anything down here, but over here I do have mining, so I can research that. The food is now going down quickly, and that's because I have a lot more peeps out here, and because the peeps over here eat from the shelter while the peeps up here eat from my potato fields, which means that it's time to get a new potato field. Now it has to actually face a road, and because I don't have a road here, I cannot build anything here. But I can build over here because there is a road connection here. So I'm going to take another field and produce it over here. This is a cute detail I've noticed in the game. That effect was from the transmogrifier making more tools. You can see that now I have 7 tools available. But I was going to say that I love this detail about this home, creating music, and folks that live here are having fun, even though it says that they are Zing, which means that they are sleeping, but they are actually having fun here in the building creating music, and it's one of the cool effects on the game. And the more you zoom out, the less you can hear, but you can notice that this is the entire planet. Currently you have the only one island when you start the game, but you can see that the planet, even though you cannot clearly see it, you can see the edges of it and you can see how big it is. So there are more islands on this planet, and you can colonize many other planets depending on how many you set up. I had set up 7 when we started this game. Now, as we have more need for potatoes, I have the second field here up and running, and we'll see if that's even enough. I have new research available because I have 20 research here, and I can do gardening, which is going to allow me to place orchards or vegetable fields, which would be great to get more food that's different than potatoes, because that increases the happiness of the population. And I'm going to use this plot here. I'll just wait for the research to finish. Well, over here I can check out what else to build here. Now I could get another potato farm up here next to these homes, or like I said, I can just wait. But one thing that I definitely need is more wood, so I'm going to need another woodcutter. I can check out where I have good amount of forests over here, 2 forests here, so this woodcutter should have good efficiency. You can see that I have unlocked the elevator, and I'll be placing that over here so that I can access this area here where I will get stone and iron from. Now that the gardening research has been finished, I can make a vegetable field here. You can see that I have also unlocked the tea field. The tea field grows herbs for teas, which makes the peeps happier. And in order to place this, I need a spot where I have homes and a well, which means about here, which means I'll take down this forest here in order to create a place for a well. You can see the efficiency bonus here, 10 because of a house next to it. And over here you can see 2 bonuses for a house and a well. And once this field is built, you will see that it has a bonus from a field and a bonus from a house. So the more bonuses you can pack to a certain building, the better it will be at producing. Over here there is a ruined ship, which we will be using as soon as we have enough resources to make it operational, to search out the neighboring islands and see what's over there. Now, because I have 15 wood, I'm going to use the transmogrifier to actually create more tools, because I'll need them in order to get a warehouse going and in order to get a quarry going. The warehouse is a building that will actually increase the production rate of production buildings, like for example a workshop, or maybe a building that produces iron ingots from iron ore. So it is something that you should place strategically in order to be able to get a bonus from it when you actually build those buildings. So I'm going to create a road here, and then I'll have the building facing like this, and then when I make a toolmaker here, it's going to actually benefit from this building. You can see that I finished this tea field here, but this forest is still here and I want to remove it in order to place a well there. Now I can do some more research, and metalworking is next, which will allow me to build the toolsmith I was talking about. There is a 90-day cycle in the game, but it doesn't really influence your peeps. It does, however, give you the nice effect of the side of the planet going dark, and if you, for example, have an additional colony on another island, you would see that it would be daylight over here, for example, while it would be nighttime on your colony. You can see here that the warehouse has been finished, and also the elevator, and in the warehouse you have to actually click which sort of resources do you wish to be kept here. I'm going to enable everything currently because this is my only warehouse. When you have more warehouses, you can enable less of these and then specialize a warehouse for something. You can see that the bread has been picked up, which was over here, by one of the peeps, and it's now going to go towards the warehouse. I do have lots of tools and I do have a lot of wood, so I can now start building some more of the advanced tech, for example an iron mine. Now, in order to build an iron mine, I need stone, and that is why I should first construct a quarry over here, because I'm going to need that building later as well. I need a road up here in order for a quarry to be built. So I go here, build a quarry, and I build it, for example, here. You can see that it also produces pollution, and you should be wary of placing too many buildings which produce pollution next to each other, because they'll just increase the amount of pollution created for that area. I also need to check out how many idle workers do I have. I have plenty of idle workers, which means I don't need new homes. I can do more research, and a bridge looks like it's been unlocked, and also repair. So I won't go for either of these until I actually need them. I can do a school because I'll need this in order to allow for growth of population, because once you use up all the peeps from the shelter, the school will allow you to actually have population growth. Now I have more wood, and I should build more tools using the transmogrifier, but soon I will have my own tool production chain. But that chain starts with an iron mine, which has to be built here next to a hulk, or over here next to this hulk. Now, because I don't wish pollution over here close to my fields, I'm actually going to build it a little bit further over here. And then that building will send its resources over to the newly unlocked iron smelter. As you can see, benefits from a power generator and a warehouse being next to it. Now, if I actually want to use an iron smelter, then I need the ruin generator, but that requires being repaired, and that is why I'm going to, after researching the school, research repair, and then I will be able to get a ruin generator up and running in order to get a smelter running, and then the iron smelter is going to get the toolsmith its goods in order for me to actually be able to produce more tools and not use wood for it through usage of the transmogrifier. Over here I'll build that well that I was talking about a little bit before, and also I'll need more food because I'm currently at 22 potatoes and only 2 vegetables, so I am going to build another of these vegetable fields, which say that they like being next to other vegetable fields, wells and homes, which means I'll build one here, and then it should have plenty of bonuses. Considering I still do not have my chain of production for tools, I'm going to use the transmogrifier once more and use the wood I have collected in order to get more tools. Now the iron is being produced, the stone is being produced, and as soon as I can repair the generator, I'm going to be able to start producing power, and then from that power I can actually start producing the iron necessary later for the toolsmith. But this is something I think I'm going to leave for the second episode. I would like to thank you all for watching, and please remember that this game comes out on the 8th of May.